Okay, in this video I was just going to quickly go through sort of must-have accessories for the DJI Mini 3 Pro drone. And I say sort of must-have, but I mean these are basically the accessories that I use the most. So we'll start off with the Fly More combo. So the Fly More combo, you can either buy it when you get your drone or you can get it afterwards, but you'll soon realise if you need this. I mean, the drone itself ships with one battery. If you buy the Fly More combo, you'll get yourself some extra batteries, which is the main part of it, and you'll get that kind of charging hub and a few extra bits. So let's quickly have a look why I think that is sort of worth getting. I mean, this is basically revolving around the RC version, because that's the version that I've got as well. So with the Fly More combo, you're going to get extra props. So these, if you even don't buy the Fly More combo, you're going to want to get extra props. These things get sort of damaged and chipped, and even when you're landing, sometimes they can clip against something. Once they're damaged, you need to replace them, and you need the right one as well. You can't be putting the wrong props on the wrong bits of the drone. So you're going to need some of these regardless of whether you buy the Fly More combo, and I'd always recommend getting the official ones rather than third-party props, because if it falls out of the sky with third-party props on, I don't think that's going to be covered by, you know, the care refresh if you've got that. But yeah, it's worth, you know, for the cost of these, they're a few pounds more to buy the official ones, so I always just make sure I've got the right ones on there. So that's kind of the first thing that you get with it that kind of makes it worthwhile, because you're going to need some anyway. The second thing in the Fly More combo, you know, that makes it worthwhile is the battery pack. So you'll get one of these anyway with the drone, which is great. Having the extra two is really useful. It might be that actually, you know, these have quite a good flight time. I get about 20 minutes, I think, out of these, although they're stated more at half an hour. I get about 20 minutes out of a battery. But if I'm going and doing jobs, or I want to kind of shoot kind of longer things, these are really useful, the extra two batteries, and you can cycle them whilst you're working, so you could be charging the two that are out of the drone whilst the other one's in use. So yeah, I think you'll sort of realise, you know, if that is useful to you or not. And by the time you sort of think, okay, well, I need these props, it would be useful to have the two extra batteries, then you're sort of in the territory of this being, you know, worth getting already. So you've got your props and all those bits. You've got the batteries, and the other thing that comes with it is the bag. And usually, I'm really not into using the bags that come with the Fly More combos. But I've got to admit, actually, the bag for this I have actually been using quite a lot, because it is quite a useful, functional bag. You've got like the top bits, you can keep all your props and everything in there, and all the cables you need for charging. It's got the front pouch for the remote. The battery pack fits in nicely as well with it. I think the difference with this compared to the other drones is that usually you've just got your drone, maybe you've got a couple of batteries, and that's easy just to throw in a bag with the smaller version of the remote, because the other remote is quite a lot smaller than this, because obviously the screen is your phone or your tablet or whatever you're using. But with this version of the remote, actually, I think the bag is quite practical, because it is actually pretty, it fits everything in there pretty snugly, and it's got a strap, so you could probably, my camera backpack's probably slightly too small to throw this in, but I've just been using it as a separate bag. But yeah, I found with the remote, actually, I think this bag is actually sort of worthwhile. I've been using it most of the time, to be honest. And then outside of the Fly More combo, another useful thing is the what I get. I mean, again, this is sort of personal preference, but the remote, I find it really useful to have one of these straps on the bottom. I think it's a shame that DJI don't provide one of these, but essentially all you need is it's basically like a sort of two-ended lanyard type thing, and it's just got these little thumb screws. So the actual strap can just come off easily with these clips, so you don't need it on there all the time. But it's quite useful, you know, just to have it around your neck or over your shoulder or whatever when you're not using the remote, so I don't have to keep packing it away and bringing it back out. And the main part of that is the thumbsticks. I really don't like taking the thumbsticks on and off all the time to pack it away or whatever. So having this is quite useful, and you know, especially when setting up the drone or checking flight maps and all that kind of thing, you know, it's just, you can have it hanging around your neck or off your shoulder, and it doesn't have to be on the floor or anything. I've had a few times where I've had to, like, things like dogs and stuff come over and they've been muddy and they just leave a load of mess over things. So, you know, having it just around my neck's a lot better. So yeah, that in itself is quite useful. And I mean, I'll leave links to like these bits, but you know, they're pretty cheap. This strap is like a few pounds or a few dollars, you know, and I've found it a really useful thing. And that kind of brings me on to the next bit, which is, you know, these thumb screws. You know, I'm sure some people love this design with the, you know, the screw-on thumb screws, but, or the thumbsticks, but I really don't like this design. I just find it so fiddly, and it's just, you know, I'm sure there could be a better way of doing that. But basically, you know, like, these have ended up in sand, long grass. Every time I go out, pretty much, I'm almost dropping one or losing one, whether it's taking it off or trying to put it on, or I just don't understand why, you know, they could have at least made these magnetic, so, you know, if you drop it, it just sticks on. But they've not even done that. It's just, I think it's just a really poor design. But basically, all I've done, just so, you know, I never caught short with that, is just buy some extra thumbsticks. You know, again, they're like a few pounds, a few dollars, and it's just worth the peace of mind that you're not going to end up with, you know, one thumbstick missing, and having to either search for it for ages, or, you know, you just going to end up not having it. So yeah, I think, you know, for me, that's probably like the, you know, the essential kind of bits that I find are useful. So you've got like the strap for the remote, some extra thumbsticks. Like I say, the props are really something you'll want to get as well as an extra. And for me, I couldn't not have the batteries, basically. So you know, that is the kind of lineup of bits. I'm flying in the UK, so I'm not adding extra bits to the drone like NDs or prop guards or anything like that, because that would change the weight class of the drone. So there's no extra bits that I would put on the drone. These are just sort of additional accessories and bits that sort of work around it. So for me, they are the things that kind of make my life easier whilst I'm working. So yeah, hopefully that's been useful. If it has, give the video a like. If you want to see more content like this, then please subscribe.